What is going, nigga? We back at it again with some more Beyond Dragon Ball Super oysters, clams, and cockles. I don't know why that's in my head. That's since I seen that episode. Oh my god. Anyway, last episode, Raijin crashing out, bro. After getting belt to ass by the Grand Priest, he crashed out with Berserker Raijin. Now imagine he did all that power enough for nothing. Imagine it's still gonna be belt to ass. I probably won't be, because you know what I mean. It is Raijin, you know. Again, and they said he is stronger than Merno, so it might not be. So I guess we'll see. And he does have two halos around his shit, so two red halos that look cool. So yeah, but again, compared to my boy and his 8. Yeah, it's still gonna be a GG. Still gonna be belt to ass. I feel like, you know what I mean. Just, I guess, what a slight resistance, some slight resistance to it. But yeah, damn. After this, we got 2 more episodes after this, man. It's crazy. That is crazy. But anyway, hit the video like, man, comment down below and says, you feel me? Subscribe to Alice. Keep it 2 milli. Beat. Again, happy New Year. Oh my God, tomorrow's gonna be 2026. That shit crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, that dive Omni. There we go. Our final battle begins. Let's go.
As our story now continues, following the initial battle,
he horned up and everything.
Having to wage war against the demon god of the underworld known as
hair got maxed out. Nigga got swoller.
Just upon with our heroes having to observe with absolute terror, minus the Grand Priest, and having to wait and see as to what Raijin's next move was going to be, was when Goku then went on to quickly respond by chiming in.
Yeah, y'all still no chance, bro.
What in the world just happened to him out there, you guys?
Y'all still no chance from the get-go.
Massive than how it was shown prior to watching him undergo that transformation of his, but what do you all think that this could mean? Goku continues, and more importantly, do you all think that he is maybe now around the same level as the Grand Minister? Because I really didn't truly think that he would even go and take it this far, with Whis
about to find out.
Oh dear, well I'm afraid to say that I honestly do not know at the moment, for this new power of Raijin's appears to be the complete integration of both his demonic and angelic sides, in having to be pushed to unprecedented extremes and birthing some kind of a mutation of sorts. Whis continues, as he also seems to now be operating on a level so dangerously volatile that it goes far beyond any normal deity's capacity to maintain, with the only other exceptions in having to be the Grand Minister and the Omni Kings. And with every surge of energy that he exerts, the situation spirals into greater peril in potentially dooming us all if this imbalance that I sense, which appears to be coming from somewhere deep within, isn't dealt with immediately, Whis says. And yet even now, I can't seem to detect on where this imbalance is originating from, as the energy currents within his body are now in a constant flux, which ultimately makes it nearly impossible for me to go and trace, Whis says, to which it was only just as Raijin was then shown successfully completing his transformation and now having to address the Grand Priest.
Behold!
To quickly respond, behold, O exalted attendant of the Omni Kings, as I have now transcended. For no longer am I bound by the mediocre limits that had once confined within me now, but instead, Berserker Raijin continues, I now embrace an entirely new realm of power altogether, as well as having me accept this newly forged spirit of mine, which was born out of my hatred and fire in.
Look, man, that's good and all, bro. That's good and all. Look, congratulations. But if you still can't, you know what I'm saying, put hands on this, man, I ain't trying to hear it.
Having it be what will guide me here against you, as you should have destroyed me when you had the chance, and having to go and do so earlier, Raijin continues. But just like yourself here, Grand Minister, I just want for you to know that should the stars go in the line against me, which I already know that they won't, but if against all reason my inevitable victory is once
are you sure about that though?
from me,
I nigga bold.
worry not, because there is always a plan B, Grand Minister. An enigma of mine so profound that it will only ensure my triumph over you, even if I am to be destroyed.
Oh my god, look at Merno, bro.
ways in
All
which
crazed
you
and
can't
deranged and
begin
shit.
to fathom, you pathetic lapdog. As you may go on to be the ethereal enforcer who governs over the entire multiverse, Raijin continues, but this breakthrough of mine, after shattering my limits, will ultimately be in what will set the new standard here between us, as it is an extremely rare opportunity for two of the most powerful titans across the planes of all life to be shown in having to clash like this. But what do you say that we go and resume our battle from where we had left off, and finally having to settle our long and storied history here once and for all, as well as finally coming to discover the truth and seeing as to which one of us is truly the strongest living beings in the entire cosmos. And so now, are you ready? Because I am going to hit you
Put them hands up.
everything that I can possibly exert. And so, are you ready? Interesting, the Omni Grand Priest responds. And so while your power may be impressive to those who are unaware of what it is that you had done to achieve such a level, not only do I hereby feel strongly about this upcoming battle of ours, given my experience and confidence in knowing that my power is mine, and I welcome you to go ahead and gladly give me your absolute best, because this is going to be the last time that you will ever have the chance to go and prove me wrong about you here, demon. And so now bring it. Which of course Raijin did in fact do exactly as the Grand Priest said in having to bring it, because with Raijin then shown having to quickly make his way towards the Omni Grand Minister was when
Acting like Merno?
quickly respond, wait a minute, and just what exactly did he mean by what he had mentioned out there when he said that he had some kind of a plan B in case he is to go and definitively lose out there against the Grand Minister? And more importantly, Vegeta continues, is what exactly do you mean by what you said about having to go and sense the source behind this irregular imbalance within him constantly shifting around to where it can't be traced? Because I don't understand as to what it is that you were saying. And so
Could it be Merno? That nigga is not stressed. Come on, man. Come on, bro. That nigga is not stressed, bro.
And I'm afraid I haven't the foggiest idea of what exactly he is plotting, as this could simply imply anything from perhaps maybe another hidden artifact of some kind to perhaps maybe an ally of some sorts if he hasn't already eliminated the ones that he already had before. However, Whis continues, I do theorize that this may in fact tie directly into the alarming irregularity that I sense coming from deep within him. As we mustn't go and underestimate this demon's
Bro, look at
ability
the
to
Grand
subvert
Priest's
and
back
manipulate our
though, man.
expectations, Whis adds, even if he is faced with having to go and engage
That
against the
nigga
Grand
is
Minister's
built.
Omni power, because just like he was shown in having to do a few minutes ago, Raijin could ultimately grow desperate enough in attempting to try something similar of the sorts, but in a different way if he needs to. But on top of that, it would seem as though he is continuously drawing additional power from the demon realm.
Oh, he got hidden.
An endless reservoir for extra energy and a bolstered power supply. I am, however, though stumped on having to break through this enigma, but the Grand Priest, being immensely more seasoned and potent, Whis continues, will undoubtedly enough get to the heart of Raijin's anomalies. However, I do implore you all not to go and rush in just yet, and so now let us observe until
Rush in for what? What the hell we gonna do against this nigga, bro?
As I strongly suspect that he is still
Die?
siphoning additional power straight from the demon realm itself, and perhaps using it as some kind of an auxiliary energy source or supplementary power supply of some kind to
I was thinking that too.
amplify and fuel his dark evolution. As even though I can't fully penetrate this mystery just yet myself, Whis continues, you can nevertheless rest assured that the Grand Minister, with his vast amounts of experience and unimaginable battle power, will undoubtedly unravel it all by the very end of this conflict, as he is far superior in such matters.
Hey, you got it hidden.
Everyone, do make sure to hold
So,
yourselves back and do not intervene just yet, as we must wait
he doing
until
better.
it's clear for our assistance.
Like I said, a slight resistance.
The Grand Minister if he needs us. Wait, but hold on, Kibi then went on to quickly ask Whis by responding, at the moment, while it appears like Raijin is at least starting to look as though he is able to fight back without having to be completely overtaken like he was shown in being just a few moments ago, how are we to know if our aid isn't warranted now, Angel? With Whis responding, well, although it's hard to tell while at the moment, even though I strongly stand with the Grand Minister in having to still hold the advantage here, despite with Raijin having to seemingly attempt to fight on par with him, very rarely does something like this ever go on to rear its ugly head onto the surface and being something that you will see every day. And for Raijin's destabilizing nature having be something that I'm sure
my
the
boy
Grand
shit.
Minister
Okay.
is already
And gave him
hyper-fixated and focused on these
CTE. Okay.
continues, we must go on to trust that the Grand Minister can continue to maintain
Okay.
dominance over this
Raijin,
demon,
you
and
has
while it's
bash.
unclear on what exactly is going through each of their heads as they carry on in testing one another's sheer might and willpower by enduring such brutal punishment, unless there is to be something critical that changes, or unless the Grand Priest were to somehow go and approve of our aid, will I only continue to go on to urge you all to stay right where you are and leave this up to the Grand Minister to go and deal with Brohan responding, so tell us then, Whis, is your confidence rooted in knowing that the Grand Minister is still far stronger than this demon currently is? Because unless of course there is something more that none of us can happen to go and see out there, Brohan continues, if the Grand Minister is still in fact far stronger, then how come he just doesn't go and destroy this demon right then and there and be done with this?
Cause let him have his fun.
While I do personally still believe for the Grand Minister to not only be far stronger and far more capable than Raijin is shown in having to be out there against him, the reasons as to why
Let him have his fun,
Grand
bro.
Minister is looking to wage this fight against such an adversary like this is more than likely due to Raijin's comments about this secondary plan of his, along with having to go and take this time to go and test his Omni level of power, Whis adds, since there of course wouldn't have been anyone else out there who would have been able to go and test the Grand Minister's resolve like this.
Exactly.
I'm more than sure that this must be on exactly why he is choosing to go through with this the way that he currently is, to which as Raijin was then shown having to completely land on the ground safely, was when an irritated and frustrated Raijin went on to then further acknowledge the
Like I said, a slight
"You
resistance.
dirty little angelic pest, you aren't going to cast me aside and dismiss my resolve here against you that easily. Especially not while I still have far more power left and going and using it here against you." But even despite
Well, then they show him something, then, fam.
once again missed the Grand Priest was when
Cause that
the Grand
nigga
Priest
is
went
not
on to
stressed.
respond, then if that's how you plan on having to go and continue this here against
Weave.
me, you'll need to go and be far quicker and far more strategic than that if you hope to achieve this goal of yours, which you and I both know isn't going to be achieved here no matter what it is that you try, Raijin. And so now let us go and continue by having you feel every bit of the pain that you have went on to inflict onto so many others, as this was for attempting to go and do away with both myself along with the Omni Kings, the Omni Grand Priest continues.
He
For
kicked
you
him in the
will
back
never
of the
go and be
neck.
given a
Oh
second
my
chance
God.
to ever go and do what you tried to do against us like that ever again. And while I intend on having to go and prove to you on
Nigga
why
said
your
fire
power fails in
in Kingdom Hearts.
comparison to my own, the Grand Priest adds, despite with you having to overexert yourself to the point where you had
I'm more of a
created
thunder guy
reputation
myself.
for your will and wanting to see me destroyed, and I will hereby go and extinguish that very fire that burns within that blackened soul of yours, no matter how long it will take in having me go and do it. So, is that so? Well, not if I have anything to say about that, you won't, you worthless waste of space. So now here you go, as I want for you to go and take this back, but the Grand Priest
Look,
wasn't
he's
having
not
any of
stressed.
this.
Look at him, he's smiling, bro.
Shown having to use a portal,
With
it
his
turned to
big
further
back,
redirect the
swole
Grand Priest
looking,
back with the
silver
Grand
back
Priest being
looking
shot
ass.
onto his own attack before shoving it back through the portal, was when the Grand Priest further went on to acknowledge this sentiment by quickly responding, "As if I'd even give you the chance to go and try it here against me, demon, and so no, I don't think so. And as a matter of fact, since you don't seem to quite understand given your lack of
Like,
focus,
no,
what's being
I
held
insist.
on attempting to
Keep
try
this.
and best me,
Hold
are you
this.
beginning to now see on why that will never happen here, demon?
Oh my
Because if
God.
you don't, and if you can't seem to quite get it by now, the Grand Priest adds, then allow for me to once again go and prove to you that no matter what it is that you try, whether it's using demonic or angelic techniques against me, none of it will wind up in having to work on me no matter how many times you go and try them, to which it was only just upon with the massive
So you
explosion
powered
that
up for
Goku
nothing,
happened
I
to be
see.
seen was when Goku then
Ah.
went on to quickly chime back in. Incredible, but I can still sense that Raijin's power isn't shown in having to decrease here, but instead, Goku continues, from what I can tell out there, he seems to be rather forcing himself to go and continue to increase his his power, despite him having to still fall behind the Grand Minister. So it looks as though you are indeed far more of a complex opponent than I ever expected for someone like you to be.
Of course,
although
nigga.
I had always known that taking you on was never going to be as easy for me to overcome as it would against any of the others, Raijin continues. Try not to go and celebrate prematurely here just yet, Grand Minister, because maybe you haven't went on to realize this by now, but you are hereby fighting to try and destroy me within my domain here, Grand Minister. And
I
since
know.
we are here and having to wage this final battle of
I'm still
ours
not
within
stressed, though.
my realm, Raijin adds, in allowing for me to go and hold the upper hand here against you by weaponizing this dimension within my favor here, and so, as long as you continue to go on to wage this war here against me within the very ruins of this world that I have carefully forged in preparation for such events, will I only go on to continue to slow you down more and more.
Hold on.
until I have you
I don't like that look in his
where I
eye.
need for you to be,
I don't like that look.
Minister. As it was only just then within these very moments now, as the gigantic molten lava from underneath the demon realm
Lava?
was shown having
Man,
to
walk that
completely
off.
go on to overtake the Grand Minister, was when Raijin then went on to quickly continue. Ah, the arrogance of the divine attendant shines through once again. You
Lava? Come on, man.
celestial
We are not worried about
fool.
lava.
Do you truly believe that your petty maneuvers can keep pace with my demonic ingenuity, Raijin questions? As I shall outmaneuver you at every turn, outperforming your archaic techniques with sheer barbarism, but don't think that I have overlooked that insidious self-healing ability of yours here either, Grand Minister, because my strategy is hereby tailored to go and prevent you from activating it amidst our frenzy, and while you might hold out for
He
the
really had to
time
heal.
being, Raijin
That's crazy.
continues, I can assure you that I won't let you stay ahead of me indefinitely for much longer. And
Karaga.
if you assume that clinging on to this title as being the mightiest in all of creation scares me,
That hurts you,
then
fam?
you
It was
should
just lava.
go and think again, you angelic rodents. As not only can I now go on to see that you can feel pain and be hurt under specific circumstances and conditions when taking a look at what my attack had just caused you here, as even if I must go on to destroy myself in order to ensure that you are no longer a threat that stands within the way of my plans, Raijin says, then I will gladly go and do what I must as long as I'm able to go and watch you suffer, Minister. To which it was only upon with Beerus being shown having to interject himself was when Beerus then went on to quickly respond. Wait, you can't be serious here now, right? Are those shards of what seemingly appears to be glass or metal of some kind that this beast has flooded the Grand Minister's body with? Because if so, then now looks to be a better time than any other for us to go and jump
okay.
here, Lord Beerus, Whis went on to then quickly respond. So please
what
just
the
trust
fuck?
in what I am telling you, and please just wait here for a little while longer while they continue.
Was that in the lava?
But Raijin, on the other hand, was not having any of it, because with Raijin quickly shown having to dematerialize just before
Full
having to
court press. Here we go.
behind the Grand Minister was when Raijin then went on to quickly respond. So now ask yourself, what do you think will end up happening to you here if you aren't able to go and fully heal yourself in time, despite while I continue to go and chip away at your very power until I leave you broken and defenseless and doing anything in response to try to go and stop me, Raijin questions? Because if this is going to be what I will need to go and continue to do, if it means in having me watch you crumble beneath my feet by the end of this duel, then so be it, because I am very far from finished with you here, Angel. But the Omni Grand Priest was having none of it, because even with the Grand Priest, despite having to now know that Raijin was slowly making his way in, was when the Grand Priest went on
Watch
to
them
quickly
cankles.
respond, arrogance creature, as all you are managing to go and do here is simply dig your grave that much deeper than how it was shown in having to be before. But no matter, the Grand Priest continues, as your taunts are just as empty as your grasp on this battle here, demon. For it matters not that you are aware of my self-healing capabilities, because such knowledge will only grant you nothing here against me as you struggle to desperately go and keep pace with me, which is now becoming more evidence based on the way you are fighting here, as I will only go on to permit as to what I can control, and rest assured, the Grand Priest says, this entire confirmation remains firmly under my command, no matter how many times you go and attempt to try to overexert yourself and simply having to keep up with me. For you have deluded yourself into believing that you had went and figured me all out here, but you're overly arrogant.
Well, I said, nigga, I'm saying stress, bro.
You because you never did did, and you never will, demon. And so while your energy continues to surge as you pursue to push yourself far beyond both your physical and mental capabilities, you stagger to adapt when having to face my power in this battle, which only solidifies the painful truth that you have once tried to bury deep within you, which is that you are only hereby being held in place by the very hands that you claim to want to surpass and destroy, but never will, demon. You worthless angelic lapdog, you haven't beaten me just yet, and
are you
I
sure
vow that you never will. But while you think that you may have me all figured out here, Raijin continues upon being shown clenching onto his stomach, you don't have the slightest idea on what you are truly going up against here, as it'll only be a matter of time before you do, and once you do, will it already be far too late for you to go and do anything that will stop me, as it was only
what you talking about, Willis?
during that moment.
What you talking about, Willis?
Dragon Ball Super Story of the Dark Masters,
Did I still say his plan B?
Manga chapter number 55 special then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from.
Yeah, go ahead. We take it from there, man. Like I said, bro, a slight resistance. Slight. You know, he does look cool in this form, though. He does look cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But still, a slight resistance. Like, nigga, we in your round, and like my nigga still not still not pressed. Poor Toro. Look at this. Look, see? This phase does not have confidence, bro. This is the range and craze like this nigga. Oh my god, look at this. Oh my god, Merno, ball. You was a menace, ball. You were a menace. Oh god, you were a menace, ball. Oh my. Right in the sternum. You think I just cause I can't heal shit still sweet? Ain't shit sweet. Right in the sternum. Right in the sternum. Okay, so they had like I guess glass shards in the lava. I guess that hurt that nigga. I'm like, lava. At this point, bro, these niggas ain't worried about no damn lava. Like nothing nature wise, niggas ain't worrying about. Nothing. Didn't we see? Didn't we see like the top 5 strongest or like Goku training lava and shit like that, right? And the other one, another manga, you know. And on top of that, you like even this Dragon Ball Super Broly, Goku and Vegeta just fought in lava, just that for that time, they didn't even feel the shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, niggas ain't worried about lava at this point, you know, which is still crazy. That is still crazy. Like when I saw that, and I will forget that shit. When I saw that shit for the first time for Goku and Broly, I'm like, I see. So y'all just ignorant. Okay. Just casually just fighting in lava and just bit the nigga, casually bit the nigga in lava and spun him around and shit. I'm like, okay. Lava ain't none of that. You know? So yeah. Anyway, W video, man. We got 2 more left. 2 more episodes left, and then on to the season 2 of the top 5 strongest. Cannot wait. I cannot wait. I just been seeing thumbnails. I'm like, I'm not reading the titles. I just see the thumbnails. I'm like, oh my god, I need to watch. It's calling my name. Almost there. But yeah, love y'all. Thanks for watching, man. Subscribe to Alex, man. Give it a 2 million type beat. Happy New Year, because oh my god, that's crazy. New Year's tomorrow, 2026. Here we go, man. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.